Hello everyone and welcome back to Knit Chocolate Pearls. Today's video will be a review of the Papatya Angora Batik yarn. This yarn is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. You get 550 meters on a ball and it's DK weight. I bought this yarn because of obviously the beautiful colour palette. I'm not a big fan of blue, but the way the blues and the purples and the golds and the greens all transitioning together is beautiful. I also loved the way it looks so fuzzy and soft in the picture, and don't get me wrong, it is. You can see in there where it's untouched how fuzzy this yarn actually is. It's beautiful. However, I have several issues with it and I'm actually really disappointed. I don't like leaving negative reviews, but when it comes to yarn and buying good quality yarn and having a project that you love, it's important to know what type of yarn you're buying and what it's more suitable for. Now, here's part of the shawl I was going to make. Now, as you see, colour transition is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Really lovely complementary colours. But the problem with it is you can't frog this. If you make one mistake with this yarn, you see, if you make one mistake with this yarn, you can't pull it back. I'm going to demonstrate that now. Look. Sometimes you can carefully prise it off, but it still damages the yarn. I'm not being rough, it looks like I'm being rougher on the camera. You see, it damages it too. It looks like I'm being rougher than I am. Sometimes you can work them loose, but most of the time they just bind up and knot, and it's really stressful. One wrong stitch or one stitch that's a little bit too big, or you want to change something about the project and it's very difficult to pull back. Can you hear that tearing on the camera, on the microphone, sorry? I'm not sure if you can, but if you can't, it's like splitting hairs. Like, take the hairs on your head and split them. It really isn't good. You can't pull it back quickly at all. And I'm going to show you how little force it takes to break this yarn. I'm not even using my biceps. There's no strain, and it snaps. It just snaps and it snaps and it snaps. And that's a sign of a low quality yarn. I've bought much cheaper yarns than this. Acrylic, wool, cotton, and none of them have snapped like this. This is honestly just, if I'm just going to say it, low quality yarn. Very low quality yarn, especially considering the retail's like £4, and I know you get a lot on a ball, but this is quite ridiculous, to be honest. Another issue with this yarn is it absolutely stinks. It's shedding as well. It absolutely stinks of vinegar. Not just a normal vinegar that you would put on your chips, but like a preservative, a chemical, an enhanced type of vinegar. When I opened the bag, I thought, oh, there's a strange smell, and I was like, is that in my house? What is that? And as I was crocheting with it, I was thinking, there is a terrible smell of vinegar feet. It's a terrible, pungent smell. And then when I smelled the yarn, I smelled my hands, I realised what it was. It was the yarn. So I put it in the bottom of my yarn basket, and it doesn't seem to have really taken the smell off much. I bought this in November, and just smelling my hands and smelling the yarn, it still smells like chemicals. It smells like ink, vinegar, feet and plastic. That's quite a description, but yeah, I'm going to do a little demonstration crocheting and knitting with it now just to show you. It's a shame because it's such beautiful yarn and the price is really good. But I mean, for 550 meters to buy two, that's a very large shawl made. But it's just not going to work. I'll spend my time making an absolutely beautiful looking shawl, just one little tug and it's snapped and broken. I mean, with a lot of yarns, especially acrylic, you can tug them and snap them around as much as you like, and they're absolutely fine. But this one doesn't give that impression. I'm not going to make this the neatest because it's a demonstration. It recommends to use a 4mm hook or needle set with this, by the way. I would actually size down. Using this yarn again, I feel like you could, unless you wanted bigger stitches, this yarn would be better suited to a 3.5mm. I mean, it's comfortable to crochet with. It does feel though sometimes when you pull, when you make a foundation chain, when you pull it towards the hook to tighten it up, it does feel like it snags. It's happened to me a few times where I've snapped the first loop. And it's not fun because it adds up to wastage, and I don't like that. I really don't like wasted yarn and that sort of thing. You can actually really see the fuzz here. You can see how fluffy and lovely it looks, but that's the problem, is it snags and snaps too much. I mean, if you can do it perfectly in a one shot, that would be okay, but be aware that this isn't a very tough yarn, and it isn't going to be used for anything that's overly long lasting. And if you're wondering about the Angora in it, it doesn't say on the website whether it's real Angora, but generally Angora, they don't kill the rabbits, they just brush them. They let them overgrow, brush them out, and leave them to grow again. So there's that aspect. A lot of people are worried about using Angora for that reason, but it's generally a misconception. They would very rarely harm the rabbit. Have that. I might do a row of single crochet as well, just to show you those. Oh, as I'm crocheting, I feel the snagging in this one a little bit. The colour transition in this one's really good. It's rather than some yarns like to have a very how would you say it? They have very cut, blunt colours, like Lion Brand. Is it Lion Brand Mandala? That one tends to have very cut and dry transition between colours. This one you can see the colours throughout it, and of course it has these lighter hairs the entire way through, just to give that gentler transition. If we look back on this, you're not going from drastic colour changes to the others throughout. Obviously you have a few spots, but the spottiness is quite nice. It gives almost like a tie-dye effect. Now I will quickly try to pull this back. There we go, straight away. We're just going to break it. I'll put it on the needles quickly to show you what it's like to be knitted up. There is some splitting, but really the splitting with this yarn isn't that significant. Big long needles, catching on everything. Oh, this does not feel nice to knit. I don't know if you can hear it. Hang on. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's making a noise against my needles. I don't like yarns that do that personally. The long hairs are making it harder to get the needles through too. Oh, it's snagging and snapping, and I don't like that.